that ball 4 balls off the plate. So yeah, I don't even want to talk about that one. That one's just ridiculous. So, that one doesn't happen too often, like especially where I threw it. I can't, there's nothing I could really go back and try and do better there. So yeah, like I said, just you flush it and you keep going. You get through the game, you keep going, and it's just that stuff just doesn't matter anymore in the moment. So.
Do you flush it quickly, or does it take a few minutes to flush?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm pissed, but I'm just doing a better job of bringing my awareness back to the batter and just forgetting about what happened.
Well, I think that's one of the most candid responses I've ever seen from George Kirby. Talking about the pitch he threw to Maurice Dubon in the 4th inning last night. That ball was off the plate, Bill. Somehow Dubon drove it down the right field line for a 2-run double. And like he says right there, where else can he put that? When I watched the hit, I'm like, how in the world did he get his bat on it and then to keep it fair? So, I mean, like he said, sometimes you just got to say, hey, chalk it up.
You have to allow fate to play. I hope it's fortune. Most of the time, defense will make the plays. That's why they're out there. Tom Kelly, my old manager of the Twins, used to say, the 8 guys behind you, make them make plays so we can get the best athletes off the field as soon as possible. That's your job. I like the way Kirby pitches. He pitches like our era. He pitches the contact. He powers the zone. He's not afraid of the strike zone. He got Nick there, a little flay of fish to right field. Cute shot, whatever you want to call it. Really made a bad choice to throw to third, so 2 guys were in scoring position and 2 runs scored. That shouldn't beat you. I thought Kirby was, again, just brilliant. He's such a strike-throwing machine, great stuff. He's refining his pitches a little bit, throwing a little bit of an in-between slider, curveball that seems to be working really well, and he threw it a ton last night. The Braves love to hit the fastball, and Kirby made the adjustment and pitched very well last night.
Yeah, in a season, as we started the show talking about inconsistency with the team, I think Kirby has been consistently good. Another pitcher that's been pretty good so far, Bill, is Emerson Hancock. His season is rolling right now. I mean, his ceiling very high, Bill. What have you seen differently from this young man from last season to this season?
Well, I think most notable is he's flattened his arm angle a little bit, which not the way we taught our kids to throw, or they're taught to get up on top and make the ball go downhill. With the tall strike zone we have now, there's an advantage to be able to shoot the ball up into the zone. We've seen Castillo do it very effectively. Of course, Brian Wu kind of owns that, and now Emerson Hancock is able to do that. He also has developed a sweeper. I don't really like that term, but it's a slower breaking ball.
What would you like instead of the sweeper?
We call it the slurve.
The slurve?
A slurve.
Okay.
But sweeper is the word, so we'll live with that. But that pitch has given him a change of speed, something 80 miles an hour or slower that makes his other pitches that are hard much more effective. Plus, it's given him a breaking ball he didn't have. So that pitch, and then he still has the good changeup. Now he's exploring the top of the zone. He's always been a strike thrower. In fact, he's challenging Kirby for stinginess on walks, and he's pitching with confidence. Here's a #1 pick that has, like, I'm great, and I'm going to prove it to you. You guys have given us 2 auditions. As soon as I stub my toe, you send me out. I'm going to stay there this time. I'm going to be better. And he clearly has been. He's their best pitcher right now. I'm not saying he is the best pitcher, but what a great story to have a guy like that come along and be elite. I think between him and Cole Young, there's a lot of excitement around getting new players that you didn't know were going to help you as much. That's another reason why the team is going to be better.
Is that arm? I mean, you mentioned that the arm angle. Is that tough for a pitcher to make that change?
Well, I think that's what the magic is with the Mariners. They figure out what you do well, and then you do it over and over and over again. And that we really convinced Hancock that flattening his arm angle would give him that opportunity to explore the top of the strike zone. He can throw that slurvy breaking ball from that same release point, and it's just worked well. His body works well there. He's throwing the ball a little bit harder. I mean, the old adage was you want to stay downhill to stay off the plane of the bat, but the illusion of coming at a flat angle and kind of looking like the ball's dead down the middle, like Wu does, and the ball's above the bat, and he still got the sinker. So he's really rounded himself off into something special. It defies all the rules that I grew up in as far as driving the ball downhill, but these guys have figured it out. It's just smart.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. Yeah.
Without going too much into the weeds with you, Bill, as far as we hear sweeper a lot. That's the term.
It's
we're
okay.
hearing a lot.
It's fine.
But
It's fine.
sweeper is more of a horizontal movement.
Right.
Curve is more of a dropping down.
The slider is a short, flatter breaking ball. The curve is more like a 12-6 if you think about a clock. And then the sweeper falls sort of in between with a much longer break to it, okay? It's the Nintendo breaking ball, the one you see in the video game, right? That's pretty.
The
and
wiffle ball.
you remember Jeff Nelson?
Yeah.
He threw that. We call it the frisbee breaking ball. But it's working well for him. And notice the last game he didn't hit the bull and win a stake, because every game he's throwing one off the Bull Durham adage, right? He was throwing one off the back wall. He didn't do it this last game when he struck out 14, which was great. But I mean, it's exciting to see someone that says, I'm better. Get a little edge.
Yeah.
Get a little chip on your shoulder. Prove them wrong, and command that spot. And he's not letting go.
No.
And I'll tell you what, I'm not leading the conversation. He's not coming out.
No.
Okay, so let's
I'll leave that conversation. He's not coming out.
He's not
All right, so
coming
let's
out.
talk about that. Luis Castillo, someone's been talked about a
Right.
lot lately. 33 years old, contract runs through next season at roughly $23 million a season. You pitched into your mid-30s, Bill. Is it tough, and how tough is it to stay on top of your game when you get to that point?
Well, you have to continue to refine and understand what you can and can't do. Now, Luis has got a great fastball. He still believes in it. He doesn't throw 99 like he used to, but his stuff on the velocity side has dropped over the years. But if you look at his resume of the last 3 years, he's coin operated. 3.5 ERA, 180 innings, 30 starts. Tough to hit, and he's had some stretches where he's not done well. He's in a little bit of a tough stretch. He had one a couple years ago. He couldn't get lefties out, and I think he's going to be fine. I think that he needs to be able to throw his off-speed pitches more. He's going to have to be able to do that, especially his changeup. They should go back and look at his Cincinnati tape, him and Pete Woodworth, and go, let's see that Mario Soto changeup you had in Cincinnati. Let's watch it. Let's figure out what it is that you were doing then that made it so dramatically good, and get it back and throw it more, particularly to left-handers. He needs the changeup. The slider fastball, the righties, he's going to be fine. He needs that changeup. He needs to establish it. He needs to throw it more. He's got to kill some more speed and get a little more movement on it. I think that would really, really help him. He's a calm, steady, confident pitcher. I'm not moving off of him.
Okay, well, as we get ready to talk about this Mariners rotation, Bill,
Yes.
let's set you up with Bryce Miller. We can show a little Bryce Miller video from Tacoma. Bryce Miller will make his 4th rehab start tonight. He has pitched twice in Tacoma. This is a look at his second outing in Tacoma. He's hit up to 98 on the velo. Paul knows I love that word velo. What have you seen from...
Velocity's too much for him to say.
I like to shorten it up, Bill. I like to just say velo. Is he ready to come up? And that leads us to, when he does come up, what do you do with this rotation? We've heard everything from 6-man rotation, moving Castillo or Miller into the bullpen. There's a lot of decisions to be made here with this team when Miller does come up. And it's sooner than later at this point now.
Excess of riches. You know something's coming. A decision has to be made. They're going to keep it close to the vest. Believe me, they're having the conversations that we're having. They're having them a lot. Bryce Miller is a talented pitcher. He can help them more than just as a starter. I think if it were me, and it's not me, I would bring him back up and I'd put him in the bullpen because he could definitely replace Brash, but park him in the middle of the game where he could pitch through the lineup. And that's really important, particularly as we're a little bit short down there, and convince Bryce that, look, this is something that you need to do to help us win. Because we have a championship level team. It doesn't mean we don't think you can start. I would prefer to do that, and he's not going to like that.
No.
Okay, so I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. 6-man rotation, that's all great. You can convince yourself that's a great idea. Oh, Castillo gets another day of rest. Oh, we can protect Wu a little bit more. All these things you can contrive in your head. I don't think you want to wait 6 days to pitch. I don't think that's good. I want
why that? You
Kirby and
played,
Hancock to come back around again.
Well, and explain that, Bill. You played 13 seasons in the majors.
Yeah.
You're a pitcher. We hear people just throw out 6-man rotation like it's nothing.
Right.
For pitchers, it means a lot, doesn't it? Because it just throws off everything, right?
Yeah, you just need to have touch. Sometimes touch is more important than strength. I believe it is. You have to have touch. You don't want to get too strong and lose your ability to make pitches, because it's really about making pitches. It's not just going out there and huffing and puffing and blowing your house down. So I'm not a big believer in six-man rotation. I understand that it's so cool that we have the excess of riches. But, decision is yet to be made. Things can happen in the game. You don't know what's coming around the bend. Somebody could get hurt. That could happen. So Miller could go to the bullpen. Castillo could go to the bullpen. They could give Castillo a little breather. That could happen as well if he struggles a little bit more, and just say, we're just giving him a break with fatigue in his arm. I mean, these are all possibilities. I'm just giving you what my thought is.
But in the end, excess of riches is
Yeah, it's
what
a good
comes
thing.
down. It's a good thing.
But Miller could really help him in the pen.
All right.